What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Steffy's amazing gift for Sheila. The Bold and the Beautiful reveal that John Finn Finnegan will dig for Liam Spencer medical answers, while Steffy Forrester gives Sheila Sharp an amazing gift. Sheila will use crutches to walk into Liam's room at the Spencer mansion to check on his recovery. Steffy will still be there when Sheila visits, so things will definitely be awkward. That said, Steffy and Liam will show their gratitude over Steffy's bravery that day at the beach house. In fact, when Steffy gives her mother-in-law a little hope for the future, she will give Sheila the best present she can get. Steffy can't know for sure that Sheila will stay on the right path, but she's at least impressed with her most recent actions. Based on what Steffy says, Sheila will hope that maybe this could be a turning point. Anything that might open the door to Sheila's real relationship with Finn, and maybe even Hayes Finnegan, will be an incredible thing from her perspective. Next, Finn will have lingering questions at the hospital, where he'll launch an investigation into Liam's inoperable brain mass and the surgery that supposedly cured him. Since Finn still won't be able to wrap his head around the surprise recovery, he'll pull up all Liam's scans on his laptop and try to get to the bottom of what really happened. The more Finn digs for medical answers, the more he'll realize what Grace Buckingham and her colleague did was impossible. Finn seems close to figuring out Grace's whole scam, including the fact that Liam never truly had a tumor or had a life-saving procedure. At Eric Forrester's place, Taylor Hayes will pass on joining the Italy trip, but she'll make a suggestion that could prove helpful to Nick Marone in his pursuit of Brooke Logan. Will Taylor push Nick to make a grand gesture and a big commitment? Since we know Nick will have an engagement ring for Brooke soon, Taylor may give him the idea to pop the question. The Bold and the Beautiful say Brooke and Ridge Forrester are still each other's destiny, so stay tuned for updates on the difficult news ahead for Nick. Sheila is given hope by Steffy in The Bold and the Beautiful. Steffy gives Sheila some unexpected hope. Plus, Finn has suspicions about Grace, and Taylor has a suggestion for Nick about Brooke. This episode is full of explosive moments and gripping drama in LA. Watch as your favorite characters face the fallout from their past decisions, with each choice influencing the future. Catch all the action on CBS or Paramount. For years, Steffy has been absolutely firm about Sheila not being involved in her family. He agreed with her insistence that Finn not have a relationship with his biological mother. Naturally, they had a good reason. Steffy was left for dead after Sheila shot her. She also shot Finn and let everybody think he was dead while she nursed him back to health. However, Sheila played a role in recent efforts to divert Luna from her homicidal zeal, and she even provided a distraction that enabled Liam to seize Luna's gun. In the end, he shot Luna. As for Finn, he's been helping with Liam's treatment. All of the doctors thought Liam had a brain tumor that couldn't be removed. However, after Luna shot him and he survived surgery, Grace told Bill that she had a treatment that could work. The only catch was that they had to keep the whole thing a secret from the hospital. Liam survived and was cured after Bill gave his approval and paid her $1 million. Not everyone felt Grace's cure was on the up and up though. Finally, Eric let everyone know that the Italy trip was still on, now that everybody was out of danger from Luna. Nick seemed excited to go. Naturally, Brooke Catherine Kelly Lang will be there to learn about her next steps. Taylor and Ridge got engaged, but Nick's return has irritated him. Eric pushing Ridge to be with Brooke, and Brooke still insisting that Ridge is her destiny, hasn't helped Taylor and Ridge's relationship. However, Nick has not given up on trying to get Brooke's attention. He gave her a wonderful romantic gesture, and it's clear he wants her to move on from Ridge. Can Brooke find happiness without Ridge? It was the kind of gesture that no one, especially not Sheila Carter, ever expected to receive from Steffy Forrester. After years of violence, manipulation, and chaos, the icy wall between Steffy and Sheila appeared to crack, if only slightly, in a moment that would ripple through the lives of everyone connected to them. It happened at the Spencer mansion, where Liam Spencer was recovering from the shooting incident that had sent shockwaves through the Forrester, Spencer, and Finnegan families. Liam, once believed to be living on borrowed time due to a brain tumor, now lay in bed with his vitals stable, recovery underway, and a second chance at life ahead of him. It was here that Sheila hobbled into the room on crutches, her body still mending from her own brush with death and her soul visibly aching from a lifetime of estrangement, longing, and desperation for redemption. And Steffy, for all her history, her bitterness, her pain, was there too. She didn't storm out. She did not make a security call. Instead, she watched Sheila with eyes that still held suspicion, yes, but also something that hadn't been there in years, the faintest spark of reluctant respect. That moment, while Liam looked on in disbelief, transformed into something bigger than either woman anticipated when Steffy made a shocking move. She extended a sliver of hope toward Sheila, acknowledging that maybe, just maybe, there was a path forward. And in that act, Steffy gave Sheila an amazing gift, not of material value, but of human worth. It was a gesture that said, "You're not forgiven, but you're not entirely shut out anymore." It was everything to Sheila. Hope for the future. A breath of air after drowning in exile. The chance that maybe, one day, she could have a real relationship with her son Finn again, and perhaps even see her grandson Hayes without the fear of being thrown out. It was a moment Steffy never thought she'd live to see herself offer, but recent events had turned everything upside down. Sheila had risked her own life to protect Steffy and Kelly. She didn't run. She didn't plot. She acted selflessly. And while one act could never erase a legacy of terror, Steffy, grieving, healing, and feeling the weight of near-death trauma, acknowledged that people can sometimes surprise you. That maybe, just maybe, even someone like Sheila Carter could make a single good choice. And it was important to acknowledge that good choice. Meanwhile, Finn, ever the doctor, ever the truth-seeker, was digging into a different kind of mystery. At the hospital, something about Liam's medical records wasn't sitting right with him. He had examined the scans, reviewed the history, and tried to wrap his mind around what he was seeing. Liam's brain mass was inoperable. Then he was shot. Then he underwent some supposedly secret treatment by Grace Buckingham. And now, miraculously, he was cured? The pieces of the puzzle didn't fit. So Finn did what any good physician would do. He went digging. Pulling up scans on his laptop, cross-referencing medical reports, and connecting dots that no one else dared question, Finn began to suspect something was very, very wrong. Grace and her colleague had pulled off something medically unprecedented or fabricated it altogether. The deeper Finn looked, the more it became clear. The tumor never existed. The surgery never happened. The miracle was nothing more than a scam. And that scam put everyone's trust in jeopardy. Bill Spencer had paid $1 million in secret to fund Grace's underground miracle, and Liam's recovery had become headline news. However, when the truth emerged, that illusion would be shattered. In the meantime, Taylor Hayes, always insightful, decided not to join the others on their trip to Italy and stood back from the chaos. But that didn't stop her from playing matchmaker or instigator. She nudged Nick Marone in the direction of commitment, hinting that if he truly wanted to win Brooke Logan's heart, he'd need to offer more than casual flirtation. Perhaps a grand gesture. Something unforgettable. Nick, still simmering from Ridge's jealousy and longing for a real future with Brooke, took the hint. He would soon be holding an engagement ring and ready to propose. Whether Brooke would accept was another matter entirely. Ridge's gaze never quite left Brooke, even though Taylor and Ridge had just tied the knot. Eric Forrester knew it. Brooke realized it. Even Taylor, as strong as she tried to be, couldn't ignore the signs. The Italy trip loomed ahead like a crucible, ready to forge or fracture destinies. And as all of that simmered in the background, Steffy's gesture to Sheila became even more significant. It wasn't just an act of kindness. It was a ripple that would carry through the Forrester family, through Finn's own inner struggle, and through the tangled web of love, betrayal, and second chances. Sheila, for her part, tried to keep her gratitude under control. She didn't beg. She didn't cry. However, as she told Steffy that she hoped, just hoped, that this could be a turning point, her eyes shone with something unusually genuine. She mentioned Finn, Hayes, and her desire for improvement. Deacon Sharp had seen change in her, and now maybe Steffy was starting to see it too. Of course, Sheila knew this olive branch was fragile. One misstep, and it would vanish like smoke. But in a life defined by being shut out, this sliver of hope was the best gift she'd received in decades. As for Liam, his gratitude to Sheila was tempered with caution. He was too well aware of what she had done to Steffy and Finn. But even he couldn't deny that in this one instance, Sheila had chosen the right path. And as the family stood on the edge of transformation, with old wounds starting to scar over and new questions bubbling to the surface, it was clear that no one would be left unchanged. Finn's investigation into Liam's miraculous cure would explode soon enough, threatening to ruin careers and destroy trust. Grace Buckingham would be exposed. As a result of his blind desperation, Bill would be forced to confront the consequences. And Liam, once a victim, would find himself entangled in another kind of scandal. Taylor's suggestion to Nick would lead to a marriage proposal that could either mend hearts or break them again. Ridge, torn between his love for Brooke and his commitment to Taylor, would have to choose once and for all. Even if Eric had good intentions, his interference would continue to stoke feelings of longing and regret. And through it all, Steffi's simple yet profound gift, the gift of cautious belief in change, would hang in the air like a challenge to everyone. Can people truly change? Can enemies become allies? Can broken families heal? Or is it always just a mistake away from coming back into the present? Only time would tell. But on that day, in that room, Steffy Forrester, once a fierce protector, once a victim, once a woman filled with rage, chose to extend something fragile and powerful to the woman who had caused her the most pain. And that decision might very well change everything. Because in the world of the bold and the beautiful, nothing is buried forever, and sometimes the bravest thing you can do is give someone a chance to be beautiful once more.